Hey everybody, it's James Arnold Taylor here with another Ask JAT. Now, James, what do we got in store for us today? Oh yeah, great. Well, so many people have been going to jamesarnoldtaylor.com, clicking on the JAT show link and submitting their questions to us. We've got so many great questions, hundreds and hundreds of them, James, but I picked 13 today, and I really would love to get through all 13 as quick as we can, because I know, not a lot of time. So yeah, well, ready to go? Yes, stop talking, let's do it. Great, okay, let's do it. All right, hey. Okay, James, I got my little webcam set up here. You got yours there? Yep, okay. We'll just cut back and forth then. Marissa Santi asks, how many characters have you played in all? Yeah, Marissa, I don't know. I mean, there's really so many different characters. You don't end up keeping track of these things, so more than I can count, more than I can imagine. I know my stage show, I do over 200 voices in the show, but in my professional work doing animation, really hard to say, because each episode you do so many different little incidental voices. It's in the hundreds and hundreds. Next one is from Hal Knapp. What is your method to learning and perfecting a classic cartoon voice like Fred Flintstone? How does one learn how Fred would say a line? Well, it goes through many, many years of watching cartoons, as I joke around in my stage show about. The thing is you just have to feel that character. Some characters you feel, some characters you don't feel. I grew up loving the Flintstones. I also worked for the first 2 years of the time I was doing the voice of Fred Flintstone with Henry Corden, the voice for the last 30 years of Fred. Alan Reed was the original. Alan passed away. Henry Corden took over for him. They both had various ways of doing Fred and looking at Fred, and each one of us as an actor, as I do with Obi-Wan Kenobi, you take your own versions and bring that into it, but you just have to kind of live and breathe that character. Kind of hard to explain. The best way I can answer it is it's just this kind of instinctual thing that comes into play. Okay, this next one is a really cool one from Jackie Florian. Forgive me, Jackie, if I'm mispronouncing your last name. But my question has to do with ISDN, as a lot of the newer talent seem to be looking for newer technology, as some companies aren't even offering ISDN anymore. While I believe you use it today, do you think it's necessary for a voice talent with a home studio, or do you think it will eventually be replaced with something else? So ISDN obviously is the way we patch in to do promos and stuff. So James, what do you think? Do you think it's going to change up in the coming years? Yeah, I do think that it's changing. I think it's changing right now. Source Connect is another great product. It's one that I use and have in my studio. The reason why ISDN won't go away immediately is because of the fact that the networks like Fox, where I do the promos for Fox, and their ISDN, and they need it right away. There's a speed thing to that natural analog line of just, you dial up, it's right there, it's like a phone line. But the other reason is these places, these huge companies, these big film companies, have giant firewalls on their internet servers, and they cannot allow those firewalls to be broken to come in on such a wide band for programs like Source Connect and stuff. So a phone line is still the simple, easy solution to that, and it still sounds quite wonderful and easy to use and simple. So I don't think it's going away anytime soon, but I think it's going to be harder and harder to get. This last place that I lived in, it took, I think, about almost 3 months to get my ISDN hooked up, and so it's getting harder and harder to do it. So we'll see how the technology goes, but I think definitely technology will take over soon. Yeah, I agree. Of course I agree, I'm you. All right, another one. Chris King asks, in previous videos you used several different microphones for various jobs. Is that done at the request of the engineer or just personal preference? What makes one microphone better than another for a job? Well, different microphones, there's different sounds for everybody. Everybody has their own preference. I prefer to use a Gefell UM70 because I really like the way my voice sounds on it. Same with the TLM 103 from Neumann. My voice sounds really good on that. They use that in animation. The shotgun microphones, the Sennheiser 416 is used a lot in promo work. Much to my chagrin, I do not like that microphone necessarily for that. Initially it's used in film as a boom microphone, and it's great for that type of thing because it's very directional. It picks things up really well. It's a great microphone. It's not great for voiceover. In fact, Corey Burton, the legend in voiceover, refuses to even speak on one of those. If he's doing a session, he'll bring his own microphone in, which I commend him for. But so each microphone has its own sound. It's got its own unique flavor, its own thing, but so does your voice. So you want to find the ones that really work with your voice. I have a vast array of microphones because I'm a tech geek. I love all of this stuff. I will use an older microphone of mine for if I'm doing an old film reel thing. I'll use different mics for different things. If I'm doing Fred Flintstone, I like using my Studio Project C1, which is a $300 microphone, but it emulates a U87, which is about a $4,000 Neumann microphone. And it has a really wonderful honesty, but it it allows that bass to come in on my voice better. So each microphone is set for its own use and different things. So you have to find the ones that really work right for you. It could be an incredibly low budget microphone, but your voice sounds great on it. Use it. There is no real, oh, you have to have this one, you have to have that one. You want a quality microphone, yes. You don't want it to buzz, you don't want it to sound bad, but your space is also a big part of it too. The room has to sound right. So some engineers will actually request that I put a specific microphone on. Or if I'm going back and doing a session where I know I was on a 416 at that place, or I was on a Neumann at this place, I will, if I have to do a pickup, I will go back and make sure I'm using that mic. That's why I also have a collection of different microphones, because it does make a difference if you're doing pickups and I want to do it from here, but I did it from another studio beforehand. All right, moving on fast. Michael Carwan asks, what makes a good voiceover demo? Short, concise. Don't overproduce it if you're brand new, and don't feel that you need to put a bunch of production into it, because, you know, the truth is they want to hear your voice. They want to know what you're about. And if you're a brand new actor and you don't have a bunch of actual things that you can pull from to use, make it simple, make it fast. Show a range if you have a range. Do not show a range if you don't have a range. 30 seconds, 60 seconds maximum. Quick cuts are always good, in my opinion. I think most people like that, but also grab them right off the bat with your best stuff. Don't save the best for last, because a lot of times they're only going to listen to the first 10, 15 seconds of this demo anyways. Don't feel the need to be overly clever on it. If you're doing a commercial one, go to magazines, get ads from magazines, read just the little kind of, you know, slogan lines of those things in the various tones and characters that you have. Upbeat, medium tempo, slow, serious, fun, energetic, you know, whatever things you have. Go to voicebank.net, listen to all the various different professional working voice actors' demos to get a sense of what they're like. But know that all of those are pulling from actual jobs that they did. And you'll be doing ones where you're making it up, more than likely. Make sure the sound quality is good. Make sure you're using a quality mic and you're not in a big echoey sounding room. Make sure that it's professionally put together and that it looks and sounds clean. That's the best thing. As long as you're a good performer and you've recorded it the best you can and as clean as you can, that's really what matters. I mean, you can do a great demo using your phone with the right microphone and everything right now. So the truth is just make it clean, make it simple, don't go too long, and don't overproduce. Yeah, great. Okay, well, I got two questions that are very kind of similar to each other here, so I thought I'd put them together. Axel Delgado and Blaze Yeager. And Axel asks, hi James, you said it was best to stay away from sugars, alcohol, and dairy. Do you recommend to completely stay away from those, or is it okay to have those every once in a while? While Blaze asks, as an up-and-coming voiceover actor, I have a problem with moderating myself between water and soda. What is the best method to keep your vocal cords clear and a way to fight off the caffeine addiction? Yeah, you know, this is one of those things where it really comes down to personal preference. Actually, the answer is the same for both questions. In that I personally stay away from sugars, I stay away from juices, I stay away from cold beverages, I stay away from caffeine because it's just not great for your voice. But if you know you are a caffeine drinker, you know, I'm certainly not going to tell you you can't do it or that you can't have a successful voice career. I mean, most other voice actors drink and eat whatever they want. I'm a rare breed, and a lot of it is due to the fact that I got so sick many years ago from toxic mold and really had to watch my diet. So it became a necessity for me. If you're doing a range of voices like myself, it's better to be able to have that vocal range anytime you need it. It's like being able to just pull that out of your arsenal. And for me personally, to be able to do that, I have to stay away from those things. Find out what works for you. You know, after you drink something, go on the mic, record yourself, see how you sound. Then another day, record yourself when you've just had, you know, room temperature water. Personal preference. Okay, and we've got one from Ryan Hanna, who says, hi there, JAT. I'm at the point where I have my animation demo. My coaches say I'm ready, and I'm beginning to look for agents. Good for you. Do you have any tips or tricks I can use to help improve my odds? I've been applying, but so far no luck. So he's been applying to different agencies and stuff. What do you say, James? Okay, here's the thing. For me, let me give you my story. I mean, everybody's story is different, but you know, for me personally, I was working in radio for many, many years, writing, voicing, producing all these wonderful comedy bits and stuff, and enjoying that and having great success in it, but not getting great success getting an agent. So what I would do is I did all my friends' demos for them. I would cut and produce them because I had my own home studio. And I'd say, I'll take no payment, but take my demo to your agent and, you know, talk me up to them. It took quite a few years before an agent actually took the time to listen to my demo, and that agent admitted. It's not to say that they're like, oh, they're just blowing them off. They're very busy. Agents are busy, you know, with hundreds of clients nowadays too, and that's the other thing to remember is they have hundreds of clients, and they have a lot of things to listen to on a daily basis, let alone set aside time to listen to new possible talent. If you're not in the union, it makes it even more tricky because they're less inclined to want to rep you no matter how great you sound because of the fact that you're not a union member, and it'll be harder to get you work. So there's lots of ins and outs of that question. But the main thing is, you know, for me, it finally took an agent actually listening to it. Be persistent. Send it out. Keep going. Be as nice as you can. Make sure your demo and your packaging and your emailings that you're sending out, everything is spell checked and corrected. Your sentence structures are good. You're spelling everybody's names right. You're not saying he when it's a she or vice versa, and that your demos are clean and simple. Here's just kind of a fun personal one, James. It says, hi James, kind of a random question, but what kind of music do you like listening to? I can answer that, but I'll let him answer that. Okay, well, you know, I enjoy all sorts of different types of music. My iTunes is filled with thousands upon thousands of different things, anywhere from 80s pop music, which, you know, I'm a product of the 80s. I love all that stuff, and 70s music, Led Zeppelin, Pink Floyd, all the way over to stuff that I listen to on a daily basis would be a lot of Christian music, Stephen Curtis Chapman, Jason Gray, 10th Avenue North, Jars of Clay, Josh Wilson, Brandon Heath. These are ones that I listen to pretty regularly, but I you know, again, there could be a Eagles song and a Phil Collins song right next to all of them too, with a little Beethoven thrown in between. Love all music. Music is moving and passionate and inspiring to me. So a lot of jazz too. Love jazz. Lots of different music, a little of everything. Okay, we got one. You know, now this is a good one. Chris Vint asks, you've done so much with your life. Will we either read an autobiography or hear it in an audio format? Oh, well, yes. You know, I have been for many years working on an autobiography, a different story. My story is actually kind of a complex one, and if anybody has heard it on Tom Wilson's podcast, Big Pop Fun on Nerdist, or other places, or if you see my show, you certainly know that I've had some ups and downs and learned some new things even late in life about my own father and who I actually am, and not knowing my actual true father and identity in that. So there's a lot of things going on in there, and I've been writing about it for many years, and plan on putting it all together in some form, in some way, sooner or later. But yes, thank you for asking, and certainly if there is a book about it, I will read it. There's a couple little industry questions here. Jordan Means asks, is it possible to be a professional voice actor and not join the union? And do you have any interest in doing anime shows? Okay, well, they both do kind of actually connect to each other, don't they, James? Yeah, they do. And you know, there's a reason actually that they connect, in that I don't usually do anime because anime is not usually union work. And so there you go. Plus, it's very involved work. It's very long, tedious work at times. And quite frankly, I'll be quite honest, it does not pay very well at all. So as far as being a professional voice actor and not doing the union, yes, you can be a professional voice actor if you're, you know, what is a professional? A professional is somebody that makes their living doing that thing. Can you make a living doing voiceover while not being in the union? I suppose you can. The living itself is not going to be as strong as if you were in the union, you had the backing of the union and the contracts and the amounts that you get paid, because every time I get hired for a job, there is a set amount that they have to pay, and then it's either negotiated to pay more than that, but it can never go under that, you see. So being a non-union actor that is working regularly, you're kind of negotiating your own things. And so, you know, yes, it can be done. It's just going to be a little different. Certainly if you're not in Hollywood or New York or one of the main cities where the union work happens, it's easier to make a living doing that. So, okay, Daniel Kesey, I hope I'm pronouncing your name right, Daniel, asks, I know this varies between different voice actors, but I was curious to know how your work schedule is. As in, do you work Saturdays and Sundays? Do you have to work late sometimes? Also, do you play any instruments? Okay. Two random questions put together. There you go. Yeah, well, that's okay, though. Yes, I do play instrument very quickly. I play the saxophone, a little keyboard, the self-taught on the keyboard, but I played saxophone since I was in 7th grade in the marching band. In fact, that's how I met my wife. She played the flute, and we met marching in the marching band in high school. But the other thing is that, you know, voice actors, no, generally speaking, most of us, we take the weekends off for our family. And most work in Hollywood is Monday to Friday, 9 to 5, the usual hours. A lot of actors, as they go on in their career and become more successful, don't work Fridays or don't work Mondays. And I tend to not work as much on Monday morning. I like to kind of work up, you know, or I say I'm only working out of my home studio certain days. So, you know, you have that flexibility as a voice actor. But no, there you go. Okay, James, hey, last question is from Jason Wu. He says, hello, James. I went to film school and finished a few coaching classes, but as I was about to record my demo reels, I got diagnosed with TMJ. I've been lost for the past year since it doesn't look like it's going away. Despite the condition, I still wish to pursue voice acting and it's tearing me up inside. Is there any advice you could give me to change my outlook on the situation? I feel like I'm only running into a wall. Wow. Okay, Jason, I know we can at least offer some inspiration for you. Yes. Hey, Jason, you know, there are many things that can be done for TMJ now. No, I know I hear commercials and things all the time about different people and different technologies where they can really help. So study that. Go online and see if there's folks out there in your area that might be able to help you with some of the issues you have with TMJ. I know that doctors are making some great strides in that. And it can be very, you know, for those of you that don't know TMJ, it affects your jaw and the muscles, and it can be really debilitating. So I'm so sorry. Now, you know, when I lost my voice to toxic mold, it was a period of months where I did not have my normal range and barely had my regular voice for doing work. It can be very discouraging, but the thing to remember is you've been given this task, this challenge, to challenge you, to bring you to greater heights, Jason, not to lower you down, not to steal your dreams. That is not the way, in my belief system, that that God works it. I don't believe that, and I've seen it in proof of my own life and in so many other people's lives. You have to remember, most of the most successful people in the world were challenged greatly before they became the most successful people in the world. Yeah, Abraham Lincoln, one of the greatest presidents to ever live, to abolish slavery and to do so many wonderful things for our country, took the time to suffer through it. You know, what I mean by that is he realized that his sufferings made him stronger. He realized that the things that were his inadequacies actually could build him up to become a greater person, and he was determined to do more and bigger and better things, not just for himself, but for this country. And look at the lasting impression he has there. Think of all the great inventors and all the people. Now, you know, of course, I'm giving you a big pep talk here, but this is for everybody. All of you that are saying, I have a dream inside of me, and I don't know what to do with it. And every time I try, I get knocked down and such. You have to remember, you're not being knocked down to swat you away. You're being knocked down to challenge you, to strengthen you. Think of it as working out a muscle. That muscle kills the first time you do it, and you go, oh, I can't do this again. A couple days go by and you realize, no, it's getting actually stronger and bigger. Your life is a muscle that is being worked out daily, and it needs to be bigger and bigger, stronger, faster, more efficient, and more capable. And if you keep pursuing it and believing that, and constantly going to that, and having a faith in something. Now again, not getting preachy, my faith is in God. What is your faith in? What do you believe? Do you know what you believe? If you know what you believe, pursue those things. Go after them with a vengeance, knowing that you're going to do great things with it. Again, not for material gain, not so you can be famous, not so you can fill your ego, but so you can do better for the world and enjoy what you do. You know, I love what I do. Why? Because it's fun, because it's what I dreamed of doing. But it's also because I know I was actually kind of born to do this. So Jason, if you were born to do this and if you have a passion for it, keep at it, my friend. Know that this is a hurdle, and with hindsight, you'll see, I had that hurdle, but I got through it. Think of all the people with dyslexia that, you know, were told they're just dumb, and they weren't. They just didn't know how to read stuff because their brain wasn't calculating right, and then they combat that, they conquer it. Think of stutterers. James Earl Jones, the voice of Darth Vader, was a stutterer as a young man, and now he's possibly one of the most famous voices in the world, one of the most feared, you know, powerful voices of one of the most feared characters, I should say. So think about what you can achieve if you apply, and don't be discouraged by it. Know that this is building you up. Hope that builds you up, and thank you so much for taking the time.
Hey, okay, well,
Yeah,
great stuff,
Great
James.
stuff. Yeah, definitely. Please subscribe. Oh, no.
Go ahead.
Thanks. Please subscribe to JamesArnoldTaylor.com's YouTube channel here. We've had a lot of fun. Keep sending those submissions, and we'll see you again next time, okay? See ya.